you're watching this right now, you may be struggling with lack in some areas of your life, whether it is a lack of financial resources, a lack of money, a lack of security, a lack of confidence, a lack of freedom, right? And so in order to change these beliefs or change these conditions that are currently in your life, then we must learn about the law of abundance. So there are universal laws in place that have been here from the foundations of time. And one of those laws is abundance. And by learning about this law and fixing our attention on this law, we are able to rapidly and significantly change our reality, change our perception, change our viewpoint, change our perspective. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So what exactly is the law of abundance, and how can we bring abundance into our lives? So first, to understand and comprehend and grasp this law, we must look outward and we must look towards nature, right? So the nature of our universe is abundance. For example, go to a pasture or a field. Look at all of the blades of grass, right? It can span for miles and miles and miles of grass. What does grass need in order to grow? It needs nutrients, it needs water, sunlight, right? Particles of light. It needs many things, and there's an abundance of all that it needs in order to grow and to thrive and to strive. Same thing, go to a rainforest, go to a beach, look at all the water, look at the grains of sand, right? So that is a starting point. We look towards nature and we see the abundance of this planet that we live in, live on, this universe that we live in. There's an abundance of everything we need as human beings to thrive, right? That is the gift that's given to us by our Creator, or the creative intelligence that placed us here, right? We have no shortage of oxygen, no shortage of hydrogen, all the things we need to function properly and to thrive and strive for happiness, health, and wealth. So the problem with generating and cultivating abundance in our lives starts within the mind. It is a mental condition, it is a mental defect, and it is the result of our abject thinking, right? We have lack and limitation deeply rooted and implanted in our mind. And usually it's no fault of our own. It's typically a programming that has been instilled and embedded in our minds since we were infants, because maybe we've seen our peers or our family members, parents, neighbors, relatives all struggle and never have enough of what they needed. And that is purely because they were ignorant of the fact that there was not abundance available to them. So, like I said, you would not be here if there was not enough for you to have anything and everything you needed. And so now you need to do these mental exercises in order to expand your mind and to start to take in abundance, so that you can reframe your thinking and shift your perspective and understand that there's more than enough of anything that you could desire, whether that's money, whether that's love, friendship, whatever it is. Next time you're in a car driving through a city, look at all the buildings, look at all the roads, all the raw materials that were needed to create that, right? All the concrete, all the steel, the copper, the glass, right? Look at a skyscraper, look at a city skyline, so much glass, so many materials, all the tools needed to build it, right? Look at a freeway when you're on the road, look at all the cars. You will see thousands of cars on the road from hundreds of, or from years and years and years of production, and more cars are still being made to this day. Look at all the materials needed for that. There is no shortage. It is a trick that is played on us, or that sometimes we play on ourselves, or that maybe sometimes people in higher positions or companies, they place these ideas of lack in our minds, right, to keep us down and to keep us under the thumb of oppression and not striving for more. But think about a shoe company, Nike. They've been making shoes for, I'm sure, over 100 years, thousands and thousands and thousands of pairs of shoes, all the leather needed, all the glue needed. There's no shortage of anything you need, and especially money. And money is only energy. So there's really no shortage of it. More and more and more gets produced every day. You know, money can come out of thin air. Now, of course, there are things we need to do in order to receive this money, but there's no shortage. So if you have a lack of money, it's because you have lack in your mind. And so the law of abundance actually works. It's never stopping. Like I said, it's a universal law. So you just might have an abundance of lack, right? An abundance of a lack mindset, an abundance of negativity. That's the only thing. So you're just using the law in the wrong way, or you're unconsciously using it in reverse. And so when you are constantly thinking, wow, I don't have enough to pay the bills. I wish I could have this. I wish I could buy this. I wish I could afford this. I wish I could be able to pay for this and do this. That's a lack, but you have an abundance still. Nonetheless, it's abundance of lack. So you need to shift your perspective, shift your attention outward, and see the vast abundance that this universe has granted us. And that will, in turn, completely shift your perspective. I'm telling you. So it's a discipline that you guys must grasp onto and that you must take seriously. It's all about perception, right? I know you've heard this before, but I'm going to explain it to you. It's the glass half full, glass half empty scenario. If you have a cup of water and you fill it up 50%, your attitude is going to, and your perception of this glass that's halfway filled with water, it's 50% filled with water, how you view it is going to completely change your mood, your attitude, right? Which is then going to change your feelings about the situation, which is then going to change your vibration, which is then going to change what you attract. So for example, you look at this glass that's 50% filled with water and you say, man, this glass is halfway empty. You're focusing on lack because you're thinking of what's not there. It's half empty, half empty. So you're focusing on empty, you're focusing on lack, you're focusing on not having enough. Now, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you're focused on it not having enough, then you're thinking about not having enough, and the universal law works and it gives you what you think about. So you're thinking of not having enough, the universe is going to give you more instances, more scenarios in life where you don't have enough. You're attracting lack into your life. Now on the flip side, if you're focusing on gratitude and being grateful and thankful that, wow, I have a glass that's halfway full of water. You're focusing on what is there. You're focusing on gratitude. You're focusing on what you have. The universe responds to those mental thoughts, those vibrations, and it's going to give you more things to be grateful for. And that is why, once again, gratitude is pretty much at the foundation. It is the fundamental pillar of attracting anything into your life, manifesting anything into your life. It is a key component of setting any of these universal laws into action is gratitude, right? Because gratitude has a psychological effect on the human mind. And when we're grateful for things, it is impossible to have a negative mentality, and you will constantly stay in a perpetual state of happiness, thankfulness, which in turn, by law, has to give you more things to be grateful for. So gratitude is simply the universal law of action and reaction, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if your action is gratitude, then the reaction back towards you will be more things to be grateful for. So that is why, when it comes to abundance, do the exercise of always focusing on what is there and how there is never a shortage. And how even if you're struggling with money, start thinking about the abundance that is still in your life. Because even if you may not have enough money, I highly doubt that there's been a time where you were not able to eat, right? Even if you live in a Western country, you have free food available to you, or you can ask someone for food and they will give it to you, or there's government programs that will grant you money for food. So you even have an abundance of nutrients. Now, it may not always be the food that you want, food that you may not consider the best tasting, but it doesn't matter. You will never go hungry. Think about the abundance that you have, because there has been times in civilization where people legitimately did die of hunger and starvation, and you will never have to face that reality, right? There you also have an abundance of knowledge. Most people watching this, you have a cell phone, you have access to an internet, you could even go to a public library and use the internet there. So you have an abundance of knowledge. Just on the internet alone, you have access to every piece of information that is known to man. And you can learn and cultivate any skill that you want, any money-making skill. You can learn how to bring any idea into fruition with the internet, and we all have access to the internet. So even if you feel like you have $0 to your name, you still have an abundance. You just need to tap in, to that perspective, and you need to tap into the abundance that the universe has here for us. And so that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. Focus on what is there. Focus on the vastness, right? That the universe, like I said, has to offer. And once you do this and you shift your perspective, you will slowly but surely start to rewire your brain for focusing on positive. Then you will focus on opportunities. You will focus on what is there. And then you start to see opportunities to make more money, or opportunities to get a new job, or to get the new house or the new car that you want, or to move to the new city you want, or whatever the case is. But it all starts within the mind, and it all starts with your attention and your perception. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later. Thank you for watching.